Hey guys, welcome to my first big ride on the Kawasaki Vulcan that I have so easily nicknamed Vader. Just put this decal on as a trial. I actually ordered it for my older bike. I've got a black one coming just to make it a bit more subtle, but just thought I'd throw it on for size. We've got the Glad Camper on the other side, but today we're shooting out on a big ride to Kaikoura with my flatmates. We were all going to go on a bit of a road trip and I said, fuck it, I'm taking the bike. So that's what we're doing. We're stopping in to see Ryan's sister on the way because they've got a new kitten. Oh, she's a hot one today, and I'm wearing all my protective gear just because we're on a big open road ride. Ventilation's all open and whatnot, but still, once we get moving we'll be sweet. But we're sitting here right now, she's pretty bloody warm. Now, Vulcan S, we've done about 572 kilometers. So we've still got 300 or so to break her in. So I'm trying to keep the revs. They say keep them around 4,000. I think that's total bullshit. You do your research these days, and modern engines, wearing pistons in, you really should be varying your revs, because otherwise your engine gets used to sitting at one lot of revs, and that's bad for it. Especially considering this bike sits at roughly 5,000 RPM at 100 kilometers, which is our open road speed. So that's what I'll be doing today, sitting at 5,000 on the open road, and I'll be fluctuating that to give myself a few wee bursts here and there, and sitting at lower revs when I need to, and so on and so forth. So this should be a really good ride. So here, in front of me right now is my flatmates. They're a little annoyed that I'm taking the bike and not coming in the car for the road trip, but to be honest, I get a lot of pain in my knees to sitting in a car for a long period of time. That's half the reason why I ride a bike. But I did recently have a back injury and get out of hospital. I have been cleared to ride a motorcycle. However, this is a long trip, but I have been riding this beast around town quite a bit. As you can see, I've already done 500 and whatever kilometers, and I've only owned the bike a week and a half. So yeah, no biggie. So this is actually going to be the perfect ride for me to get some extra Ks done on her, and then get her booked in for that first service. Now, I've been watching, geez, I can't remember the name of him right now, guys, but I'll drop his YouTube channel right now on screen, but I think it's like TheRealTDawg or something. Super cool dude, from the States, I believe, who has been modding his Vulcan S as well. But hitting him up in his comment section, and yeah, just a few cool tips and tricks that I've picked up from him. He has gone and put the Dan Moto exhaust on his, which conveniently enough for me is super affordable in New Zealand. In fact, if I can manage to get a $5 discount Dan Moto, I can get it in New Zealand without import taxes, which would be lovely, because import taxes is $100. So please, Dan Moto, give me a $5 discount. In fact, a $3.50 discount is all they need to do to stop me from paying import tax. So yeah, that's the plan, is the Dan Moto exhaust, and obviously I'll pick up the Power Commander as well, and won't do the install until I have both. I just don't want to, seeing as I haven't done as many kilometers as some of the other guys who have installed their exhausts on a new engine. I just want to keep it stock for a bit longer, and then when I do change it, I want to make sure I've got that Power Commander there to make sure we are getting the right amount of fuel injection through the system, and not having too much pressure coming out back into the exhaust there. But yeah, that's sort of the plan. I also want to change my headlight at some point, and a tail tidy. I was looking at the R&R fender eliminator kit. 200 New Zealand dollars to get over here, plus I think there might be some import tax on that fella, not sure, but yeah, I figured I would actually just buy a LED strip similar to what T-Dawg has done on his Vulcan S, and give that a crack. Only cost me $2.50 New Zealand, which is like $1 US. Hopefully they're bright enough, so we'll get it and we'll have a look, and we'll see how we go. Basically, I'll wire it up at work, see how bright it is. If it's bright enough, we'll wire it up. If not, we'll look at the R&R, but there's really no risk, obviously, at such a low cost. And then, yeah, we might side mount the license plate as well, but that will come down to the fact of whether or not that will interfere with saddlebags, because I do want to eventually have the option of putting on a touring setup, as me and my best mate Nick's planning on buying a new bike. He's actually currently looking at the end of line Kawasaki W800 Black Edition, which there is one sitting here at a dealership, actually the same dealership I bought this fella from, at a very, very good price. So yeah, he's looking at picking that fella up, and if he does that in the near future, we want to be going out and doing more trips nationally rather than just cruising around town like we do and just popping in and out of town on half-day trips sort of thing. We want to go out and do proper full-day trips and overnight trips. That's the goal, and I can do that now with the Vulcan S. He can't do that on his Honda Rebel 250 custom bobber. So yeah, that's sort of the plan at the moment. Jesus Christ, it is hot. It is a warm day, and I am going to bake like an oven until we get on the open road. That's for sure. Holy crap. Yeah, so I've got my comms all set up so I can listen to some tunes while we're going. I've got 3 batteries and I've got 2 64 gig cards, so hopefully we'll be able to capture the majority of this trip. I'm going to kill the camera here for now, guys, and we'll pick it back up when we're going to see Ryan's sister's cat. So I'll show you some cat footage, maybe? Maybe you'll see some cats. Yeah, until then, we'll see you soon.
A few moments later.
Alrighty guys, so we've stopped off to see Ryan's sister check out the new cat, and we're just now stopping into the supermarket to grab some food. In fact, the guy should be pulling up right there. We're getting some food, and then we'll be back on the road heading on our way. Alright, see you shortly.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me.
Alrighty guys, so we are all fueled up. The guys have just shot off ahead of me, but we'll have no issue catching them up, I'm sure. And here we are, off on our first big trip to Kaikoura. It's a 220 kilometer ride, and we'll see how this baby handles. Pardon me, just had a delicious vegan pie from the petrol station. So yeah guys, I've got these new bar end mirrors that I put on both sides, as you can see, and my uncle was actually awesome enough to fabricate these little stainless steel spaces that go in between the pre-existing bar end weights and the handlebars. So the Vulcan S's stock handlebars are not hollow and have a threaded end for the bar end weights to go straight into. So we were able to make some awesome little spaces which fit into the groove of the bar ends weights, and then just clamp on some standard bar end mirrors. So if anyone at all is interested in the spaces and you want to do the same sort of thing with your Vulcan S, drop a comment below guys and let me know. Super easy for us to manufacture, and we can probably sort out something for you guys if you were really interested in picking some up, because it makes retaining your stock bar end weights, which obviously keeps the vibration out of your handlebars, yeah, gives you that ability to keep your bar end weights while having way better looking mirrors. And I'm also getting my uncle to make me some nice round cap, like dome top screws to go in here, blacked out as well, which will look super nice. Right, onto the motorway we go. So we're getting a range right now of 260 kilometers, which is a perfect amount to get us up to where we need to go. Should be able to get there on one tank. I might just top up in Cheviot, which is our halfway point that we're going to meet up, just to make sure we get there. Always smart to gas up when you can on a long trip, because you never know. If you don't know your roads, you don't know your locations, well, you never know where that next gas station is going to be. The fact that I can just pass like that is great. You've got so much torque in the lower end there, and it's insane. And also your high-end torque is right up there as well. Still haven't caught up to the flatties. They had about a minute's, maybe 2 minutes jump on me. And I still haven't caught them, which is interesting, to be honest. So there is a passing lane coming up. I'm just going to sit behind this Subaru and see how we go. I'm not going to drop a gear. I'm just going to take a pass in sixth, so you guys can see that very top end torque in sixth gear, going from 100k, so it's basically 60 mile. Or maybe we won't, because apparently we're going 70 kilometers an hour now. There we go, back to 100. I'm so glad this bike has a sixth gear. Guys, sixth gears are amazing. I do wish it was a little lower in the revs instead of 100, but I guess then you wouldn't have that high in torque to pass like I get in sixth gear. You'd have to drop the bit every time. But yeah, you'll see what I mean. There's a passing lane coming up in a minute, and we'll go for a pass. Passing lane 1 kilometer ahead. 400 meters. So everyone in New Zealand speeds up a passing lane. It's like some kind of retarded gym dog. But let's give this thing a bit of a blade, eh? And there's that pickup. Up we go. Maybe I'll just chill, turn the camera off, and we'll save you guys for a bit later on. And hopefully I don't miss anything that I need the camera for, like stupid drivers. Alrighty guys, we'll see you soon. Peace!
A few moments later.
Hopefully the flat guys will get past that, but yeah guys, this fella, super reliable. I was looking at the Yamaha Bolt and the Kawasaki Vulcan S were my two options that I was looking at. I found, me being 6'7", the Kawasaki Vulcan was definitely the go-to in terms of comfortability for someone of my height, especially with the ergo fit options. Now in New Zealand the ergo fit options are not free. I had to get the pegs adjusted. Luckily they just did that for me for free, because they are the cheap part. They're only like $10 to get the shifted rod, extended rod. But for the seats, the extended reach seat, which I definitely think I need after riding for this long, is individually by itself $350, and I will get it at some point, obviously before I get pillions, because also with the extended reach seat comes a different pillion seat. So we'll be looking at getting those all sorted out at some point. So yeah, all I can say guys is that if you're looking at you know, a mid-sized cruiser, if you're all about looks, retro looks in particular, the Yamaha Bolt is a beautiful bike, don't get me wrong. I've ridden one, and of course I've ridden this. This is the nicer bike to ride. The Vulcan S has all the torque. Don't get me wrong, the Bolt's got some nice torque in there, picks up when it needs to, but it really does not compare to the Vulcan S, which is crazy because you're comparing a 950cc with a 650, and the difference is just ridiculous. So we're coming up to Cheviot soon. We're going to stop there and have a bit of a break. I'll turn the camera off for now, guys. We'll change batteries at Cheviot, that's for sure. And I'll try and capture the rest of the ride from then on, because that's when it gets awfully pretty. you might be enjoying this right now, but I tell you what, it's gonna get sexy. Well, in good old New Zealand, obviously we're in the farmland country in northern Canterbury right now. The roads are quite nice actually, to be fair. Shooting past this like this. And here we are, Cheviot, our first stop, our halfway point on our way to Kaikoura. We'll find a nice place to pull over and wait for the team. Ooh. The butt is feeling the sore. That's for sure.